Hello and welcome to KC Grandpa Tech, where your geeky grandpa talks how to, tech, space, and more. Today I want to talk to you about how to build your own PC. A lot of people don't like what's available on the market and want to put together a system for themselves. So I'm going to be going through some of the tips on how to do that. And at the same time, I'm going to show you how to save some big money doing it. So before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And let's get to it. Now, a lot of people who do build their own PCs are either like myself, a graphics person, or they're also a gaming person. So they're looking for a system that they can expand on more than the standard manufacturers are doing, because a lot of the desktop PCs are not really built for that. They're really built for building them for the use for business. So you want to have expansion room. So one of the things you have to choose, of course, is a case. Now the problem in a lot of cases today do not have taken out the 5 1/4 inch drive bays or the 3.5 inch bays in the front. But I chose to use, they're still available, and I chose to use this Roswell case. Now the reason I chose it is because it has a lot of room inside. And as you can see, I have two 5-inch bays. Of course, I have the large fans in front, which a lot of the new cases have, and of course it has a little bit of coloring. And when we look inside, you can see that there's plenty of room for expansion. It comes with three fans. It has two 5 1/4 inch bays. It has two SSD bays, and it also has 3 standard drive bays. Now, in order to save some money, a lot of people want to get the newest and the greatest, but I'm not for that. One of the reasons is because, of course, you want to get time for them to work out the bugs. So what I chose this is to go to eBay and look for a motherboard. Now, here's the things that you want to look for on a motherboard. One of the things, of course, is you want to look for a cost. Choose the processors that you want to have. I currently was using an i7 7000 series, and I wanted to upgrade to an i7 1070. 7000 actually. But, you know, at least that. But right now, the cost with chips and everything, if you notice, the price of the 11s and the 12s has gone insanely high. So I searched on the eBay and I found myself a motherboard, an i7 7000 series, and it also came with 16 gigabytes of RAM and the cooling fan. So you want to look for motherboard combos. And then also look to make sure that the motherboard, person who is selling the motherboard, is giving you a money-back guarantee. So if it's a piece of junk, you know what, you can return it. The next thing you want to do after you've decided what motherboard, of course, make sure that it's going to fit your case. Is it an ATX or something else? So you want to make sure you match the two. Once you've chosen that, the next thing you're going to need to do, of course, is get the power supply. Now, one of the things, of course, you're going to have to look for is how far do you want to expand it? Are you going to add a graphics card beyond the motherboard? The motherboard itself, has video on it, but like myself, I put a graphics card in it. And you have to know what the requirements of a video card for power. And you have to make sure that the power supply that you're using has the correct connectors available. So, In this case, I happen to choose this power supply. This is a 750 watt power supply. And again, I found it with the blue light because I wanted to have the effect. Now, if you do buy the motherboard and it has RAM on it, all right, you have two choices. If you don't like the RAM that's on there, you're going to have to replace everything. But if the RAM that's on there is what you want to use for your particular PC, then whatever you do, make sure you get the same brand of RAM. In my case, I happen to have mine came with this brand here, and I made sure that I went and ordered another 2 slots of memory. And it's good to order them with the heat sinks on them. One of the things that slows down a PC is when heat starts to build up, especially on the RAM chips slow down. And if you're doing gaming or graphics like I do, you want to make sure that you have it all covered. Now, this is how my PC now looks. I put a CD-ROM in it. Now, a lot of people say, well, CD-ROMs are dead, and they are. The format is gone. But I have a lot of CDs with graphic images on them that I use for my business. The other thing is you may want to choose to expand it. Like my PC case only came with a USB 3.0 one in the front and 2 USB 2.0s, which for me is like, why even bother? USB 2.0 is a dead format, so I added this card by Be Easy, and I did a video on how to install it. But it does the job. So, let me just finish this up. So, this, as you can see, is how the PC ended up coming out. I had bought the motherboard. The average price of the motherboard with the RAM and everything else on eBay was selling for around $560. I was able to pick it up for $350. I got myself a Gigabyte motherboard. It was a Gigabyte motherboard, which I like Gigabyte motherboards the best. I found that they're the most reliable, at least in my experience. You can see I put an expanded video card. And again, like I said, you have to make sure that the power supply you buy will actually supply enough power to power that motherboard and the video card. Because that's a big thing. The video cards tend to take a lot of power. That's why I chose the 750 watt. Make sure you dress your wires so that they are neatly moved inside the case so they don't collect dust. And as you can see in mine came with 2 spaces for SSD drives, so I put them in there. My own motherboard also had a place on it for adding a NVMe RAM card. So, you can see basically it's very simple. Most of the things you want to choose is that you don't have to spend a lot of money because you can buy the stuff either used or last year's model for your components. When you're buying a CD-ROM, if you're not using it that often, you can definitely find one for just $12. The motherboard I saved from $560, I got it for $350. It came with a fan. The 750 watt power supply, I found it discounted on eBay from $69 down to $39, and so on and so forth. Because right now, certain PC components people are going for the upgrade to the new Intel i7 11 or 12, so they're selling off their components, trying to make enough money to pay for that. So the bottom line is you can build your own PC. It'll take some time. Make sure that when you're buying the components, whoever you buy them from, that you have a warranty where you can return them. Of course, on eBay, you want to look at their star rating and see, are they selling a lot of bad components or such like that. When you put it together, make sure you have the right components. The power supply should be at least 650 watts, better than 750. and know what you're going to use it for. That's the bottom line. In your case, like in my case, you want to make sure it has expandability. One of the biggest things is if you get a case that doesn't have enough ventilation, you're going to deal with heat problems. A lot of people end up having to buy water cooling for their CPU because their case doesn't supply enough airflow to cool it. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful for you. This is Casey from Casey from Casey Grandpa Tech out. You have a wonderful day, and this is just filmed just before Thanksgiving, so have a good turkey and your holidays. Bye-bye now.